I worked for one of the biggest cannabis companies in the world. Here's the story. Ever since I was 16 or 17, I wanted to work in the cannabis industry. And when Illinois first legalized in 2020, I had just turned 21, so I figured it was the perfect time to get involved. But there was a problem. When Illinois first legalized, they gave out licenses for what they call cultivation centers or craft grows. Cultivation centers being the big guys and craft grows being the small guys. And since there were no craft grows opening up right as it went recreational in 2020, my only option was working for one of these cultivation centers. The closest one to me was about 40 minutes away, so I applied and was pretty much immediately hired. I worked there for about 2 weeks doing random stuff like transplanting, cleaning, and I think I even built like a desk or a chair or something for one of the managers. But then one day came where I actually got to go into the flower room for the first time. At that point in my career, I'd never been into a grow room. Like I'd never been into a large scale commercial cultivation facility before. Up to this point, I'd seen them on social media, but I'd never been to one. And that first one that I saw was fucking terrible. Aphids, spider mites, gnats, name any bug, and it was probably in this room. And the stench of the room, like fuck, it was terrible. It was like dying flesh, all the dead bugs, all the infected plants. Like as soon as you walked into the room, you smelled that instead of fresh flower. And I remember asking someone how long it had been like this, and they told me that it had been like that since they opened that facility in 2015. And when I heard that, it was over. I just quit on the spot. Walked out of the building, didn't tell anyone. I just thought it was unethical for them to be selling that product to medical patients for that entire time, because before Illinois legalized in 2020, it was strictly medical. And honestly, the big problem that I have with that is that obviously they're putting this flower through a remediation process. Most of these big cannabis companies think that this is a good thing. They're putting this flower through a remediation process in order to clean the product for consumers. But in my opinion, that doesn't make it any better. I have an issue with all these large scale commercial cultivators, not only because they're fucking up prices for the real farmers in this industry, but because they have no integrity at all for the product they're putting out, yet they say they do. And this is exactly why I hate big weed and making them an enemy of the Growingtec YouTube channel.